Great. Well, if you can take a seat, please. That would be great, thank you. Here we have pictures of Doña Felisa throughout her life, and also pictures of Doña Felisa's family. She was born in the year 1897 in the town of Ceiba, and she passed away in 1994 in San Juan, when she was 97 years old. Before she became interested in politics, Doña Felisa comes from a well-to-do family. Her father was a lawyer and her mother was a school teacher. Here we have pictures of her family. Here we have pictures of her mother, her father, her grandmother, and also her 8 brothers and sisters and other siblings. When Felisa's mother passed away, giving birth to her, when Felisa's mother passed away, she had to leave school in 11th grade to help to take care of her family. So she was the mother of her brothers and sisters, and when she had a lot of nephews and nieces, they also treated her like she was her grandmother. Here we have pictures of Doña Felisa throughout her life. As I told you, before she became interested in politics, she came from a well-to-do family. She went to school until 11th grade, and that's a lot. We're talking 1910, 1915, when most people in Puerto Rico didn't know how to read or write. Doña Felisa also became a businesswoman. She asked her father if she could go to New York to visit her sister. Her sister lived in 5th Avenue. She was a secretary there. And when she went there, she started working at fashion stores. She wanted to know how to manage the store. She came back. Her father gave her a loan, and she opened her own boutique here in San Juan. It was called Felisa's Style Shop. We already went to the municipality, to City Hall. So you saw the Supermax. It was like a supermarket. There was the store that Doña Felisa had in San Juan. That way, she knew firsthand what was going on in San Juan. Not only in old San Juan, but also in the hoodlums of La Perla and also Puerta de Tierra. Doña Fela wanted women to be able to buy their clothing that were more cheaper than other stores in the area, because she wanted to dress the women that were working at the houses of the women of money in San Juan. That's how she first became involved in the community and also saw poverty at first hand. Also in San Juan, here we have the central government. There you have Fortaleza, that's the governor's mansion. You also have City Hall. And at that time, in the early 20th century, there were the offices of the important political parties also in San Juan. And the offices of the newspapers that were under those political parties. So Doña Felisa also became involved in politics, like being in San Juan. She came involved in the suffragist movement in Puerto Rico. She was one of the first women that exercised her right to vote in Puerto Rico, and one of the first women that became part of a central committee of a political party that was in the 1930s. She started with the Liberal Party, and that party at that time was a political party that vouched for independence. The time passed, and that political party stopped existing. There were some differences between the elders and the younger people in that party, and Doña Felisa was expelled from that political party with Luis Muñoz Marin. Luis Muñoz Marin was the first Puerto Rican governor elected by Puerto Ricans. And when she got expelled, she and Luis Muñoz Marin and other personalities created the Popular Democratic Party. That's our oldest political party here in Puerto Rico. It was created in 1938. Doña Felisa became the president of the municipal council of that political party here in San Juan. And when she was asked to become a candidate for mayor in 1944, she had to say no, because her husband didn't want her to become more involved in politics. Her father, in the 1920s, didn't want a woman to receive the right to vote. So Doña Felisa, although she received the support of her husband later on, in the early 1940s, still her husband didn't want her to become more involved in politics, although she was already involved in politics, and also she was very important in politics in San Juan, because the municipality of San Juan haven't changed from a political party for more than 30, 40 years. The Republican Party was the party that vouched for statehood in the early 20th century, and that was the political party that was in San Juan. So please stand up so we can see the rest of the museum. Here we have a collection of 113 keys of the cities that Doña Felisa visited. We also have a collection of her hand fans, the hand fans that she used. We have a hand fan of her grandmother from the 19th century, and also a hand fan, yes?
Can I say that here?
Yes, you can. And also we have a hand fan, the hand fan that she used on her wedding day in 1940. Here we have a picture of her wedding day with Gautier. She was also part of the Popular Democratic Party. You can go to there with your file so you can see the keys. By visiting this museum, you also have the opportunity to take a look at the Spanish colonial home from the inside, since this is also a historical building.
It's an open space.
We have the interior patio. It was used to collect rainwater, but also to give way to the cross ventilation door. Also, since this is a historical building, we have to keep it that way. So when Doña Felisa bought the structure, it was already a historical building. The first floor was created in the mid-19th century. The second floor was added in the early 20th century, and the third floor was added when Doña Felisa bought the structure in the 1960s. We have a terrace with view of the bay that I'm going to take you when we finish on the second floor. So when we go upstairs, please use the handrail and please one step at a time. Okay? You can take as many pictures as you like without.
It's a lot of keys.
Yes. You can continue. Sí. Ustedes están ahí, se sacaron toda la calle.
Literal.
Continue through that. As you can see, coming upstairs, there are more than 300 plaques, certificates, recognitions that Doña Felisa received. Not only is those 22 years that she was our mayor from 1946 until 1968, but also after that, because although Doña Felisa retired from electoral politics, she continued to be involved in our sociocultural landscape. In this room, we also have more recognition that she received in the form of porcelain, trophies, silverware, commemorative coins, medals. In these medals, we can see these ones right here that she received when she was delegate for the Democratic National Committee. Doña Felisa not only was interested in politics at a local, national level here in Puerto Rico, she also was interested in politics at the federal level. I don't know if you already saw the John F. Kennedy portrait that we have on the first floor. John F. Kennedy gave it to Doña Felisa as a thank you gift for the work that she did for the Democratic Party in the 1960s election specifically. I like to tell people when they come here that the political parties change over time. So the Democratic Party is not the same political party that it was in the 1910s, 1920s. When Doña Felisa started doing collaboration with the Democratic Party, it was in the 1950s, and she helped to change the face of the Democratic Party by doing the work to get the Latino votes for the Democratic Party. That's why she was very important, not only Doña Felisa, but also her sister, Josefina Rincón. In those decades of 1940 and 50, when a lot of Puerto Ricans left the island and went to the United States to look for better life. There were some Puerto Rican organizations that helped those Puerto Ricans living in the island to learn how to deal with the change in culture. That's why Doña Felisa was very important, and she attended those democratic national conventions more than 5 decades. Her last one was in 1992 when she was 95 years old. And she received recognition for that because she was very involved with the Clinton campaign at the time. Let's go through here. We can continue with this. I'm not going to give you a lot of information here at the second floor because I'm the only one with a hand fan. Yes. Here we have her hand fan collection. It was customary at the time that the Spanish ladies and gentlemen used the hand fan, not only because of the weather, but also because it was seen as a symbol of social status. The people of high class did not repeat the hand fan. Also, Doña Felisa received these hand fans as gifts. When she traveled abroad, when she traveled outside of Puerto Rico, customarily she loved to stay with Puerto Rican families in those different countries that she visited because she wanted to know how Puerto Ricans were living outside of Puerto Rico, not only in the US. That's why there are some of these hand fans that were given to her from families. And you can see their last names in the descriptions of the subtitles of the hand fans. Also, the hand fan was known because it had its own language. It's called the language of the fan. In the early 20th century, we did not have text messaging, we didn't have emails, so people needed to communicate in a different way. And the young persons at that time needed to communicate without their fathers or mothers knowing what they were communicating. So with the hand fan, you could tell the person that you were interested in, that you were thinking about him or her, that you would love to kiss him or kiss her. And if she or he was not your type, you just went like this and go away because my mom is near. So
Sachet.
go. Let's go through here so we can see her bedroom furniture. All this furniture is very valuable. Also, it's furniture from the 19th century that she received when she got married in 1940.
That's not terrifying at all.
No, it's not. That's the less terrifying thing in this room.
Yes.
Because you can see the door.
Uy,
Yeah. So that's a cabezudo. That's a cabezudo. In Spanish, we call it big head in English. They use it to parade it through the streets in the St. Sebastian Street festivities. We have it in the month of January. And you have to plan it.
Wait ahead. I'm sorry.
And also here we have some dresses, wigs that Doña Felisa used. Although she had hair, she used wigs because it was easier to go to meeting after meeting if she just changed
her hair.
or just put a flower and she just continued because Doña Felisa, she was very important not only for the municipal government of San Juan, but also for the government of Puerto Rico, since most of the time she was the face of the government of Puerto Rico in a lot of interventions with the press, mostly. Here we have the photo room where you can see pictures and social work. Pictures in the area of international relations. Pictures of the Escuela Maternal. And pictures of when she brought snow to Puerto Rico. The Escuela Maternal was a daycare school program which she developed in San Juan in 1949. Here we have pictures of the activities that took place there. The Escuela Maternal was a daycare school program that she developed in San Juan. To receive some benefits, it was in 1949. 1960, one of the assistants That's why we can see that in these activities, there are a lot of activities that they still do.
Black Panthers
Still do this.
started, they started programming in California prior to that.
Here on top, you have pictures of when she brought snow to Puerto Rico in the 1950s.
Nobody can give them.
1952, 1953, 1954, and I think 1951, but I'm not sure. Still, I'm not sure. She wanted kids of Puerto Rico to be able to experience snow, since she knew that not everyone could buy a plane ticket to go to the United States. The reason people went to the United States was that because the Popular Democratic Party, the party that Doña Felisa helped create, was the political party in power at that time, and they had a policy that they said when they said that Puerto Rico was overpopulated and that people needed to leave the island, go to the United States to look for better chances in life. There are people that never came back.
That's the answer to your dad's question. Your dad asked, why do Puerto Ricans leave the island and go to New York? That was your answer.
Yes, not only New York, also Connecticut,
Up north.
Florida, Rhode Island.
Pennsylvania.
They went all around the United States, Nebraska, Nevada, all around. And also in Hawaii. There's a big population of Puerto Ricans in Hawaii, but that immigration was in the early 19th century. Early 20th century. Well, when Doña Felisa wanted the kids to be able to experience snow, but still, she was a politician. So I also like to tell that maybe it was also a propaganda move. She was invited to the Eastern Airlines central offices in Miami, and she was the official speaker. They fell in love with her, so they wanted to give her a gift. And they asked her secretary what we could give to Felisa. And she was like, well, she don't receive gifts because she's a public servant. Maybe a box of chocolates or hand fan, I don't know. But they were insisting so much that Doña Felisa said, well, let me think about it. And what she thought about was, let's bring snow to Puerto Rico. So here we have the pictures. Excuse me, bye. They didn't get the cue. They got kids from New Hampshire to pick up the snow, to create this bond between the kids of Puerto Rico and the United States. They moved from New Hampshire to New York in trucks, and from New York to Puerto Rico on planes. Although the snow lasted maybe 10-15 minutes, the memories have lasted for decades. There are a lot of people that they weren't even born at that time, and they say that they saw the snow. That's how big of an impact it was that it snowed in Puerto Rico. There's a writer, it's called Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and when he refers to Puerto Rico, he used the term Macondo. Macondo is a term for a place that doesn't exist, neither in space or time, but it falls snow. It snowed in Macondo, right? And that's I tell this inside this story because I like people to also think about how complicated it is to be a politician. Maybe you want to do something with the best of your interest, but not everyone is going to be happy with it. And you are not going to be able to do all the good that maybe you want to do in your political career. That's why the Felisa Rincón de Gautier Foundation was created in the 1980s. Some people wanted not only that the work of Doña Felisa did not go forgotten, but also to continue to do the public and social work that Doña Felisa did. The Felisa Rincón de Gautier Foundation, right now we have workshops in men's prisons around the island and also in the women's prison in Puerto Rico. We also do workshops in elderly homes around the island. We have a grant program with students that are with masters in history, public administration, psychology, and social work. We also give these guided tours free of charge so that people not only from Puerto Rico, but also from outside of Puerto Rico could learn a little bit more about our amazing history and also about this amazing woman. Felisa Rincón de Gautier didn't finish high school, as I told you before. Nonetheless, there were conferred upon her 11 honoris causa doctorates in recognition of her public and social work that spanned for more than 6 decades. Those doctorates are in the hallway going downstairs. If you have maybe 5 more minutes, I can take you to the roof. Yeah. let me go first.
But I'm looking.
No, but that, the history. So
Watch your step,
I
please.
let it
Please
know.
go coming upstairs.
Where is the background of
Yeah,
So-
that's where I was saying that because people always give the content negative press and coverage, but there was a lot of stuff that they did.
Cuidado con el muro.
I want to make sure I'm on. Let me go back and
So I like to end the tours here because I love the view. And also because I know that not every day people who visit us can also enjoy this type of view. Here we have the view of the bay. We can see magnificent Cataño. Also there's the governor's mansion. And here you have a flamboyant. It's in full bloom because well, it's January. No, it's June. They're in full bloom. Also because I like to know if you have any questions, doubts, critique.
Anything that you want to say? Now is the
Or
opportunity.
anything you want to share, I don't know. It's the time.
How do you feel, Arlene?